The discussion over the Hart Trophy gets kind of contentious. The Vezina does as well. But the Calder. The Calder seems to be the one where we get the most debate going on because we're kind of debating who's going to be the best player out of this draft, this rookie class. We always have the draft class argument. That's aside for today. Today we're talking about rookies. So when you're looking at the rookie classes, I didn't want to go 2015 or more recent because we're still 5 years out from that. And so it feels like who the best player might have been, we don't know. But from 2014 back, I'm going, okay, well, we can do this. So in black, you've got the Calder winners. In pink, I've got the players who might arguably, and this is arguably, be considered better. And then down in the bottom, I tried to keep it to players who maybe had either a subpar rookie season or we didn't know exactly what we were going to get from them later, or players who might have taken some criticism, or in some cases, players who had a pretty good rookie season and I wanted to have them on the board. And it was just a great rookie class. So 2014, Nathan MacKinnon wins Rookie of the Year. He wins Calder. That year, Nikita Kucherov, 52 games, 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points. No indicator of what he's going to become. And while there's some people saying, hey, this guy could be really good, there was no indicator he was ever going to get 100 points. None. And that same year, Alexander Barkov came in. He was the number 2 draft pick, remember. 54 games, 8 goals, 16 assists, 24 points. We can look back now and go, hey, look at the ice time he got. It's not a big deal. Yeah, no, nobody expected a lot from him that rookie season. And yet, we're seeing a lot of people saying, hey, Hughes and Kakko were both kind of busts. So, Kakko, he's not going to be much. And Hughes, he had a bad rookie year and he's not very good. And again, Barkov, there were definitely some discussions along those lines as well, and whether or not he would ever live up to the draft billing, and then he did. 2013, Jonathan Huberdeau wins the Calder that year. Vlad Tarasenko was in that rookie class. 38 games, 8 goals, 11 assists, 19 points. Highly thought of rookie, but did a lot of people think he'd become what he has become? Maybe some, and others probably not. Mika Zibanejad was in that rookie class as well. 42 games, 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points. So all of them first-round picks, but you can definitely have some debate over who the best would be out of those 3 players. 2012, Gabriel Landeskog won the Rookie of the Year. Roman Josi was in that rookie class. 52 games, 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points. Defensemen are tricky, and you'll notice there's no goaltenders on the board either, because goaltenders... again, I wanted to keep it to points. We can look at rookie goaltenders at another time. Rookie goaltenders are a whole other discussion. Because with rookie goaltenders, I'd want to talk about when they come into their own, when they hit their peak. And whether or not it is late 20s, early 30s, or if it's early 20s, and get into that. But Roman Josi's 16 points, you can look at and say, well, he's a defenseman. And I had to consider that as well. Like, some defensemen aren't on the board who had mediocre seasons as rookies points-wise, but they were being brought along really slowly. Just, I feel Josi, you could make the argument, would go ahead of Landeskog in a redraft, and so that kind of thing. Sean Couturier was in that rookie class as well. 77 games, 13 goals, 14 assists, 27 points. Couturier came along slowly, but every year he built on the year before, and it's been impressive. 2011, Jeff Skinner wins Rookie of the Year. Logan Couture was in that class as well. He had 32 goals, 24 assists, 56 points. And it was really between Couture and Skinner that year. But also in that rookie class, Tyler Seguin, 74 games, 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points. And yes, the Boston Bruins were bringing him along slowly. Yes, Claude Julien was being criticized resoundly among Boston fans, myself included, for not playing Seguin more and for resting him during the playoffs, having him as a scratch. When a lot of Bruins fans were like, why is Seguin not in the lineup? But it turned out pretty well in 2011, so by the end, we had nothing to complain about. 2010, Tyler Meyers wins Rookie of the Year over John Tavares. Tavares, 24 goals, 30 assists, 54 points, but Meyers had a fantastic rookie season. Also in that class was Ryan O'Reilly, 81 games, 8 goals, 18 assists for the Colorado Avalanche for 26 points. 2009, Steve Mason, goaltender, wins Rookie of the Year. Claude Giroux was in that rookie class, 42 games, 9 goals, 18 assists, 27 points, not too shabby. Steven Stamkos, of course, had the really slow start. And then you replace the coach, and he ends up having a pretty good year. 23 goals, 23 assists, 46 points in 79 games. but Mason got Columbus to the playoffs, so Mason gets Rookie of the Year. 2008, Patrick Kane had an amazing rookie season. Nicholas Backstrom had a pretty good one too. 14 goals, 55 assists, 69 points. Kane ends up winning the Calder. Backstrom, pretty good career in a Stanley Cup. Oh, and in that same rookie class is Jonathan Toews, 64 games, 24 goals, 30 assists, 54 points. So, a pretty good year for Chicago. 2007, Evgeny Malkin's Rookie of the Year. No one's going to take that away from him, but Anze Kopitar has a couple of cup rings. 72 games, 20 goals, 41 assists, 61 points as a rookie. And in that same rookie class, Phil Kessel, Boston as well. 70 games, 11 goals, 18 assists, 29 points. So that's two rookies who weren't given as much ice time as they might have been elsewhere, who ended up having lower point and goal totals than might otherwise be expected. Keep in mind, the totals put up by Sagan and Kessel are not completely out of line with the numbers put up by both Hughes and Kakko this year. Ovechkin, 2006. Ovechkin wins Rookie of the Year over Crosby and the greatest two-man race for the Calder we've ever seen. I believe that. 81 games, 39 goals, 63 assists, 102 points for Sid the Kid. But also in that rookie class was Ryan Suter, who played 71 games, 1 goal, 15 assists, 16 points. So, again, it's Nashville, you bring him along slowly, but Suter definitely going to be overlooked in a rookie class with both Ovechkin and Crosby. I don't know how many times I've said draft by accident. I do apologize. 2004, Andrew Raycroft was considered Rookie of the Year that year. Patrice Bergeron was in that rookie class. 71 games, 16 goals, 23 assists, 39 points. And Eric Stahl and Ryan Kessler are both on the board. This is the only year I have two. Ryan Kessler because 28 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. And it wouldn't be long after that when the Philadelphia Flyers gave him an offer sheet. And Canuck fans went, yeah, he's not really that great anyways. We should just accept it. He's not worth that much. And then he was. That offer sheet actually made him a bargain after that. But Eric Stahl had an 81-game rookie season, 11 goals, 20 assists, 31 points. So again, Stahl and Kessler were first-round draft picks. But again, Canuck fans were kind of quick to say, well, we don't know if Kessler's ever going to develop that offensive side. We can cast him off. And it's a good thing they didn't. Because in 2011, he played a major role in getting them past Nashville. 2003, Barrett Jackman wins Rookie of the Year. Henrik Zetterberg was in that rookie class, 79 games, 22 goals, 22 assists, 44 points. And I do remember complaints about Jackman winning the Calder that year. I thought Jackman was an excellent shutdown defenseman, played very well for St. Louis, though. But also in that class was Rick Nash, who had been the number 1 draft pick. The previous year, 74 games, 17 goals, 22 assists, 39 points. Decent enough rookie season, and again, we knew the upside was there. And it came through not too long after that. 2002, Danny Heatley, 50 and 07, of course. He wins Rookie of the Year. Pavel Datsyuk, 70 games, 11 goals, 24 assists, 35 points. Kind of had a better career than Danny Heatley overall. Also in that rookie class, Ilya Kovalchuk, 65 games, 29 goals, 22 assists, 51 points. And I remember the argument in favor of Kovalchuk, but Heatley played more games, scored more points. They were both teammates, Heatley and Kovalchuk, and the idea was, hey, with Kovalchuk and Heatley, there's no way Atlanta can possibly mess this up. They're on their way up. We're still waiting. 2001, Evgeny Nabokov ends up being Rookie of the Year. So again, you're seeing a goaltender on the board. This is the third time. Henrik Sedin was in that rookie class, 82 games, 9 goals, 20 assists, 39 points. Or 29 points, I should say. Now, Daniel Sedin had 20 goals, 14 assists, 34 points. I went with Henrik because A, I think Henrik was the better of the two twins. I know. And B, Henrik, it felt, was more disappointing of the two that rookie season because Daniel got to 20 goals. Daniel would have a setback in the second year. And of course, the first 3 years of their career, the Sedins really looked like they might be complete flops at the NHL level. And there was plenty of concern and complaints and plenty of laughter. And then they turned out to be pretty good. 2001, Brad Richards, 82 games, 21 goals, 41 assists, 62 points. You could argue Brad Richards, who would win a Stanley Cup a couple of years after that, was the better player than Nabokov, but that's an argument to be had because when you're comparing goaltenders to forwards, it is an apples to oranges situation. In 2000, Scott Gomez wins Rookie of the Year, and he was excellent that year, but Alex Tanguay was in that rookie class as well. 76 games, 17 goals, 34 assists, 51 points, and hey, look who was buried in 2000. Playing 56 games as a rookie, 3 goals, 15 assists, and 18 points for Marty St. Louis. So Marty St. Louis in 2000, pretty decent rookie season for him by all standards except scoring-wise, and he wasn't seen as being a future scoring forward, just a good depth guy. And then he would end up being that in Tampa soon after. Chris Drury was Rookie of the Year in 1999. Daniel Briere was in that rookie class as well. Not the last time we'd hear those two guys being mentioned at the same time. 64 games for Briere in Arizona, which was Phoenix at the time. 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points. And I remember during times where he was in Phoenix, talks about, well, I guess this guy's a bust at the NHL level. It's just not working out. And also in that rookie class was Marian Hossa, 60 games played, 15 goals, 15 assists, 30 points. You could argue Hossa ahead of Drury, because that would be an argument that I don't think you can make the argument the other way. You can't argue Chris Drury ahead of Marian Hossa. And there you go. So why have this posted now? Because once we get Rookie of the Year, whether it's Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes, and again, I'm leaning towards Quinn Hughes, it doesn't mean that the best player in the rookie class will be Quinn Hughes. Just that the Calder Trophy could very well end up going to him. And 5-10 years from now, we could look back and say, well, Cale Makar was clearly the best in that rookie class, but Quinn Hughes ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Or maybe, just maybe, we look back 10 years from now and say, you know, that Kakko turned out to be quite the superstar. He just had a rough first year. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.